Hey coaches, it's Chris with HoopsKing.com here, and today I'm going to talk to you about Shaka Smart's Havoc Pressure Defense DVD. Just got done watching it, and we're going to go through some of the things with you really quickly that you may want to know about this DVD before you rent it from us. Some of the things he's going to talk about why you want to press. Those are obvious reasons you want to force tempo, make depth an issue, create turnovers if you're a weak offensive team. Being really good on defense and getting easy opportunities might be your best offense. So those are some of the reasons that he goes over for why you're going to want to be a pressing team. So now if you're looking at this video, you're probably already thinking, well, I already do press, so what am I going to get out of it? Well, I think some of the best things you're going to get out of this tape, not so much the structure and the X's and O's of his presses, but it's what he emphasizes that I think is what's really important. He does a lot of talks a lot about stunting, defensive fakes, using those to make recovery time for other players longer, so you can get back in if you get beat, or make people undecisive on offense of what they should do. So those are some really good things. The things that he emphasizes are those. He also talks about good and bad traps. When is a good time to trap? Who's a good player to trap? Who's a player you shouldn't trap? He covers those sorts of things. It's not the X's and O's. It's more the details that he really gets into, and that I think that makes this tape different than some of the other press tapes out there. There's not a lot of full court action. They go up and down a few times on the different presses. He has a double fist and the diamond, and we'll talk about that in a second. But a lot of walkthrough, and it's really good because it's just slow. You get to see things. He talks about the details again, and it's not just kids zipping up and down the floor and cheering when they get the turnover. So he really breaks it down really well. And then the other part is the fix-it situations. He's going to talk to you about how to fix the press when you get beat, and that's another emphasis again. How do we talk? How do we communicate? How do we get back? Who do we pick up? Where do we pick up? So those are just the details of things that can make your press even more effective. And probably no matter what press you run, those tips would help you run a more effective press. Okay, so I'm going to talk really quickly about his two presses, double fist and diamond. Double fist is the man-to-man, and diamond is your 1-2-1-1-1 full court matchup press. And so they use those interchangeably, and what I think is neat is once they'll switch those presses up. So if somebody starts figuring out a little bit about the 1-2-1-1, or they start bringing people up, they bring 4 across up and it gets bunched up, well then they'll switch back into double fist, because now they got all these people bunched up, and now's the time when double fist would actually be more effective than the 1-2-1-1. On the diamond, the 1-2-1-1, he does talk about different press breaks that you will face, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up. Those are just briefly discussed, and he shows you how to handle those. And then the double fist, he'll go into that, the man-to-man, and again, it's about when to trap, where to trap, who to trap. I'd have to give it an 8. It's not the end-all to any pressure defense video. You're not going to see any of the drills that they do in practice to practice the 1-2-1-1 or the double fist. So that's the reason I wouldn't give it the full 10. But otherwise, the details are there, that what he emphasizes to make it successful is there. And so I think it's well worth your time renting it. Coaches, if there's any other the DVDs that you'd like to see us review, just hit us up on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at the link here in the video, and you can also click the link to rent the Shaka Smart Havoc Pressure Defense. It's well worth your money.